It's always nice to have something new. We are getting ready for News 6 at 4. Coming up, Central Florida schools are seeing their third week in a row where we're learning about an investigation happening now at Lake County High.
Also ahead, a family who lost thousands of dollars to a roofing company is now getting that roof replaced thanks to another business that is stepping up. We're going to have that story for you as well coming up.
Louis Bolden did a great job in that. Somebody reached out to him. Someone had been ripped off and had not gotten the money for a roof, and a company contacted him saying, "We want to help you."
News 6 at 4 starts right now.
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at 4.
Coming up, a frightening day for parents of students at Lake Mineola High School. A lockdown lasting hours after a bomb threat was placed, one that authorities say was not credible.
A 10-year-old and elderly woman left dead in Brevard County after a house fire engulfed this entire home Monday morning. I'm News 6's Jana Manahala. What we know about this fire coming up.
We started the day around 50 in Orlando and 42 in Ocala, but as we move through the next 10 days, we're keeping it colder and wetter than normal. I'll break it all down coming up.
For the third time in a week, we are seeing yet another school threat here in Central Florida, this time at Lake Mineola High School.
It was on lockdown for most of the school day. An anonymous caller made a bomb threat. Deputies say it is not credible. News 6's Mike Valenti has been at Lake Mineola High School all day and spoke with parents as they anxiously awaited news. He joins us now live. So, Mike, that lockdown was lifted right before dismissal time.
Yeah, Ginger, Lisa, that's right. Parents were able to be reunited with their kids around dismissal time at 2:20. Some of those parents had been here waiting outside, waiting on word about what was happening inside since about 10 a.m. Now, while we were outside with them, deputies were sweeping the campus behind me. We did have a chance to speak to a couple parents on camera. They each have a freshman at Lake Mineola, and we want you to hear what today was like in their own words. You just heard from parents Autumn Burton and Otto Lopez in their own words. So again, that threat that we talked about deemed not credible. Lockdown was lifted shortly before dismissal, so parents were reunited with their kids around 2:20. An important thing to note, despite everything that happened today, the afternoon schedule of activities continued as normal. We actually saw a couple students running before, so again, that threat not credible. But for now, we're live from Lake Mineola High School. I'm Mike Valenti, News 6.
Mike, thank you. A live look now at our camera in Daytona Beach. We have a wetter and colder week ahead this week.
Emphasis on colder. Meteorologist Julie Broughton joins us now with what we can expect, Julie.
And you noticed all those clouds in that live view from Daytona Beach. Not seeing any rain out there, but a lot of cloud cover thanks to winds coming in gusting to around 26 miles per hour from the northeast in Daytona Beach. Also seeing winds gusting to about 15 miles per hour in Kissimmee. So a lot of us have seen more clouds than sun throughout the day. This is our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera over downtown Orlando, where right now we're sitting at 66 degrees. It is 69 in Kissimmee and 60 in the Villages. On average, we're around 5 to even 10 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time, but the big cool down comes by Friday. Here's what you can expect when you wake up Friday morning: 36 in Orlando. I'll break it all down for you coming up.
All right, Julie, thank you. Firefighters are investigating a house fire that killed a 10-year-old boy and a 74-year-old woman. It happened overnight on Janus Road, northeast. That's west of I-95 in Palm Bay. News 6's Jana Manahala joins us now live from the house with what could have contributed to this devastating and deadly fire. Jana?
Yeah, there isn't much left of this home, as you can see straight through it. Now, the fire department does tell me that the home did have tons of items in it that the family had collected over the years. Now, those items are what fire investigators believe gave fuel to this fire, causing it to grow so quickly. The Florida State Fire Marshal's office now currently working to investigate what exactly caused this fire. Live in Brevard County, I'm Jana Manahala, News 6.
Jana, thank you. There is growing bipartisan pushback in response to the Federal Reserve Chair revealing that the Justice Department is investigating him. It's all in connection to the central bank's renovation project in Washington, D.C. Natalie Brand has the details.
All right, we're going to take you out live right now because this is happening right now. SpaceX is getting ready to launch another round of Starlink internet satellites from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. They're going to launch about 29 of these things. This is the 5th launch of the year so far. Here we are at January 12th. Let's listen in.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Chamber pressure nominal.
Bomb's going to be out for this launch stuff. Hardball.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Vehicle is supersonic. Max Q. MVAC, chill.
All right, you can see that that launch appears to have gone off flawlessly. If you want to continue watching this, you can head on over to our website, clickorlando.com. Well, it is the end of the road for most Lynx bus routes in one Central Florida county.
They are no longer in service to make room for something new. We'll explain why and what this means for people who rely on public transportation. That's coming up.
Results after a News 6 investigation. Last November, we told you about an Apopka family who lost tens of thousands of dollars after a roofing company cashed their insurance check but never replaced their roof. Now, another company saw that report and is replacing the family's roof at no charge. I'm investigator Louis Bold, and we'll have the story next.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Are you ready to explore Central Florida like never before? I'm Joey Manna.
And I'm Kara Moeller, and we're your News 6 Insider Guides.
Being a News 6 Insider means you get an inside look at wildlife and stories that make Central Florida unique.
This is really, really cool. From day trippers to everyday wild, we bring you the stories and adventures you won't find anywhere else.
Signing up is free and easy. Just go to clickorlando.com/insider to get exclusive access to our videos, special content, and our weekly newsletter.
All right, we're going to check in now with meteorologist Julie Broughton, who is standing by. If you had not been paying attention, you woke up to quite the surprise this morning.
I felt the front physically come through yesterday.
Yeah, we were together having brunch and the rain came through.
And then after that, things changed. It was different after that, Julie.
So, you know, as cold as it felt this morning, we were still warmer than average. That's how spoiled we've been with these warm temperatures. So in Orlando, we fell to 50. The average low this time of year is 49, but by the end of the week, we'll be well below average. So we'll keep it mild again tonight. Then by the middle of the week, we're going to be tracking some rain. Our dry season has been unusually dry, so we are desperate for some rain. It won't be drought-busting rain, but certainly beneficial. And then by the end of the week, we are talking about potentially the coldest air of the season. So as of winter, now of course, winter didn't start till December 22nd, but our coldest day of winter so far was 37 degrees on New Year's Eve. Before that, we dropped to 36 degrees on November 11th. Again, the average low is 49. So it looks like we'll likely beat that. We'll drop to 36 degrees Friday morning in Orlando. If you're in Ocala, you'll fall to 30, 33 in the Villages, and 41 for your overnight low in Cape Canaveral on Friday morning. But here are the important numbers. When you factor in the winds, this is what it will feel like when you are stepping out the door to work and school on Friday morning. It will feel like 28 in Ocala, 25 in the Villages. Leesburg, you're going to feel like 26 degrees. It will feel like 33 in Cocoa Beach and feeling like 23 in Palm Coast. So hopefully you haven't put the winter clothes away, because we are looking at a cooler than normal stretch as we head through the next several days. Here's what it looks like for us right now. This is our launch credit union camera out there at Cape Canaveral, where we are seeing a lot of sunshine right now, sitting at 69 degrees. It is breezy today with winds gusting from the north around 14 miles per hour. If you're in Claremont, you're at 61, 60 in Ocala, 57 right now in Palm Coast, and 69 degrees in Kissimmee. We've seen winds gusting up to around 30 miles per hour at times today, including in New Smyrna Beach. And right now in Leesburg, your winds are gusting at 20 miles per hour. Now, here's your hour-by-hour forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, so here is Mr. Gray. He's enjoying a head massage on this Monday. Isn't he beautiful? His beautiful green eyes. 63 degrees at 7 o'clock, 60 degrees at 8 o'clock. Head to clickorlando.com/pins to share your pet photos with us. Now, I want to jump ahead Wednesday into Thursday, so that's when we're looking at more moisture rolling through. A front pushes through Thursday into Friday, and behind that we'll see strong winds out of the north, and as high pressure builds in behind that, that is what is going to help bring us those unusually cold temperatures when we wake up for Friday morning. Now, here's what we can expect for tonight in Orlando. You'll go to an overnight low of 55, 61 for your overnight low in Mico, 50 in Palm Coast, and 46 overnight tonight in Ocala. Now, your 7-day forecast, we have a lot going on in this. Now, for your Tuesday, we go back up to 72, so right in the normal range. Then Wednesday, we'll see the front that went through yesterday wiggling back to the north, bringing a 40% chance of rain, 50% chance of rain on Thursday. Thursday, another cold front comes through. We get only to 61 degrees. Then Friday, that's where things really settle in with the cold for us. 36 to start the day on Friday, not getting out of the 50s, then 39 on Saturday. And even as we head into Monday, we're still talking about lows in the 30s. So we'll be bundling up for the extended forecast.
I got my earmuffs ready. Thank you,
gosh.
Julie. 8 bus stops are now closed in Seminole County, replaced by an on-demand service.
Oh, wow, I did not know that. Why would they do that?
This woman was actually waiting for her bus when she realized it wasn't coming because it's been discontinued. The impact it's having next. A live look now at downtown Orlando. This is from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Light Orlando.
Thousands of people living in Seminole County now have to find a new way to get around.
Yeah, on Friday, we told you how Lynx was ending most routes to transition to an on-demand rideshare service called Scout. Leaders say the Lynx buses were too high a cost and not used enough. A few months ago, the county announced Scout would provide door-to-door service instead of requiring riders to walk to bus stops. Now, one man who relies on public transportation says changes like this can hit some riders harder than others.
I mean, I kind of think it's unfair for them, especially the ones who are struggling, especially today's economy with a lot of families struggling.
Now, one major difference between Lynx and Scout is cost. Lynx fares were typically around $2 and free for many students. Scout rides start at about $4 with trips within one zone. Prices increase farther out you go or travel within Seminole County.
Another rider told us the new system does not make sense for people who need to travel outside of Seminole County since Scout does not operate beyond the county lines. Scout works through a smartphone app similar to Uber or Lyft. It allows users to request a ride within designated zones. Wait times have also been a concern. In recent months, riders told News 6 they experienced waits of up to an hour or more. The county responded by adding more vehicles to the Scout fleet. Now, if you are unsure which Lynx routes remain, you can find the link to the full list in this story at clickorlando.com.
Tomorrow, Florida lawmakers are heading to Tallahassee.
Property tax cuts, gun laws, immigration, and AI rules are all in play this year. We're taking a look at what to expect. That's next.
Soon, more officers will be running radar here in Sanford. We're looking into how the city plans to spend thousands of dollars on enforcement and what difference it could make.
Welcome back. We are following several top stories right now.
A bomb threat forced Lake Mineola High School to go on lockdown. Lake County deputies say they got a tip. Grassy Lake Elementary, Mineola Charter School, and Pinecrest Lakes Academy were also under lockdown while deputies investigated. They believe the threat was not credible. The lockdown at all of the schools was later lifted. A 10-year-old boy and a woman were killed in a house fire. It happened overnight on Janus Road, northeast, west of I-95 in Palm Bay. Firefighters say they found a woman outside the home who said 2 others were trapped. Firefighters tried several times to get into the home, but say the extreme heat kept them from getting inside. The cause of the fire is under investigation. SpaceX just launched another batch of Starlink internet satellites from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. We showed it to you live right here on News 6 at 4 o'clock. Of course, after the liftoff, the first stage returned and landed on a drone ship in the Atlantic.
Does Sanford have a speeding problem? News 6 is learning the problem is serious enough that the city is getting thousands of dollars from FDOT to reduce the number of crashes from speeding or aggressive drivers. Your Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver is live at the police department. And Catherine, you are asking what areas they are concerned about the most.
Yes, Sanford police will be asked to look at what areas have the highest volume of crashes on a bi-weekly basis, and those are the locations where they would likely focus their enforcement efforts. We also looked at the impact similar efforts have had in places like Orlando. That same report we showed you shows that Orlando police used more than 1,000 overtime hours. They ended up reducing the number of crashes with serious injuries or fatalities by about 30% compared to the 3-year average. I'm live in Sanford. Catherine Silver, News 6.
Catherine, thank you. In Apopka, a 2-car crash sent a police officer to the hospital. This happened last night around 11:45 at the intersection of Claricona Road and Cleveland Street, just southeast of Phyllis Wheatley Elementary School. Apopka police say the officer went to the hospital as a precaution. The Florida Highway Patrol says the driver of a Hyundai Genesis, a 19-year-old man, did not go to the hospital and stayed at the scene. We are still waiting to find out what led up to the crash.
Well, this week, NASA plans to bring SpaceX's Crew 11 back home because of a medical issue on board the International Space Station. The astronauts held a change of command ceremony earlier today.
This has been passed on for a long time. It's the key to the ISS. So, Sergei, do you accept command of the International Space Station?
Yes, I accept command of International Space Station.
NASA says the 4 Crew 11 astronauts could undock as early as 5 o'clock this Wednesday evening, January 14th, with a splashdown off the coast of California on Thursday morning. The return comes months earlier than the original February schedule. NASA says one crew member experienced a medical issue, and the agency wants to bring the crew home to do further testing.
This was a serious medical condition. That is why we're pursuing this path. The capability to diagnose and treat this properly does not live on the International Space Station.
NASA and SpaceX will finalize splashdown locations and time based on weather conditions. NASA astronaut Chris Williams and 2 Russian cosmonauts will remain on the ISS. And in more space news, NASA says final preps are underway for the highly anticipated Artemis 2 mission. 4 astronauts are set to take a 10-day journey to the moon and back, the final test flight before a planned lunar landing on the Artemis 3 mission. NASA says it could move the massive space launch system rocket to the pad as soon as this Saturday. The launch could be as soon as February 6th, but a final date has not yet been set. And remember, you can be in the know for all things space through our Covering the Space Coast and Beyond newsletter. It goes right to your email every week. Just head to clickorlando.com/newsletters to subscribe.
Pass a budget. That is the only job that Florida lawmakers have to do. Yet starting tomorrow, everything from what your kids learn to what you pay in taxes to AI and gun laws will all be on the table as the legislature begins its 60-day session. Again, the session begins tomorrow. The governor has also called for a special session this spring to take up mid-cycle congressional redistricting.
Another thing lawmakers will talk about in Tallahassee: school attendance. Chronic absence disproportionately affects children from low-income families and communities of color, which can lead to achievement gaps. Truancy is a big issue across Central Florida. 6 counties, Flagler, Lake, Marion, Orange, Osceola, Volusia, are all above the state average for students missing 21 or more days. To intervene early, legislators are considering school attendance bills to create a mandatory alert system requiring districts to alert parents when students hit truancy levels.
It's very important because when it comes time for graduation, and they're like, well, why are you not graduating? Well, they missed the X amount of days, so I think they should be alerted about that.
The Florida State Board of Education would be required to adopt a statewide attendance policy, and out-of-school suspension as punishment for attendance would be prohibited. Well, you saw it live right here on WKMG. Awards season officially kicking off with the Golden Globes.
And a couple of films came up big this year.
And the winner is One Battle After Another.
One Battle After Another won 4 Golden Globes, including Best Picture, Comedy or Musical, as well as Best Director. The historical biography Hamnet also won multiple awards, including Best Picture Drama and Best Actress for star Jessie Buckley. Timothée Chalamet beat out heavyweights like Leonardo DiCaprio and George Clooney for Best Actor for his role in Marty Supreme. Earlier today, I spoke with Nichelle Turner and Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight. They were on the red carpet last night. Big winner last night, One Battle After Another.
Yes.
Timothée Chalamet, you know, what was your takeaway from the people who really won a lot last night?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say this: One Battle After Another won 4 awards, and they were important awards, including the Director Award.
Yeah.
But I will say...
But the big snub for them, I believe, was Sean Penn.
That's
Sean
it.
Penn should be winning every single award this season. I'm not sure why he's not. He hasn't been campaigning like other people.
And he never will.
But his performance was head and shoulders above anyone else in that category, in my opinion.
It was big that Tiana Taylor won, and I think that sets her up for Oscar. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm saying it to everybody: watch out for Hamnet. Michael B. Jordan is still in this race, and there are still things that are going to happen along the way. Oscar nominations are in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we will know a lot more.
And you can hear more from behind the scenes at the Golden Globes coming up on Entertainment Tonight, right here on News 6 at 7 p.m.
I love watching the red carpet. It's always fascinating to see them arrive.
So many beautiful gowns last night, too.
Let's talk about J-Lo, but we don't have time. Well, a forgotten cemetery is getting a major cleanup.
This cemetery has been abandoned with no true owner since the Merchants Bank went belly up back in the Great Depression. So this is really, really huge.
More than 1,700 graves and decades of neglect will have the community's push to bring life back to this historic cemetery.
Plus, parents are now voting on a move that could reshape an elementary school for years and bring a big change to who runs it. Julie.
We are tracking big-time changes this week, starting with some rain arriving Wednesday into Thursday. Then by Friday, it will feel like the 20s when a lot of us wake up. We'll talk about just how cold it will get where you are in minutes.
And as we head to break, we want to remind you to check out our primetime schedule on News 6 Plus. We have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Go in depth as we answer your weather questions at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
All right, meteorologist Julie Broughton joins us now with a look at our ever-changing forecast. And we are getting ready because you've been telling us it's going to cool down.
It is, and it's going to stay cool for a little stretch for us. So typically we'll just see a cool morning or two. Looks like we are going to be talking about temperatures dropping into the 30s, even into next week. So here's what we can expect as we head through the overnight hours tonight. We're actually going to be milder than normal. Then tomorrow we'll be right in the low 70s, which is near average. But our changes really begin for us by Wednesday into Thursday. Along with that, our rain chances go up to around 40 to 50%. We desperately need to get some rain in here, so really any rain will be beneficial for us. And then behind that rain, when you wake up Friday morning, most of us will be in the 30s, but when you step out the door, it will feel like the 20s. So go ahead and start planning your winter attire for later this week. We'll go to 36 in Orlando, 36 for your low in Leesburg. Ocala, you'll drop to 30. Make sure you download our free News 6 weather app. That way you can track just how cold it will be in your neighborhood Friday morning. And then when we factor in the winds, because we are talking about the potential of breezy conditions just about everywhere, it will feel like the 20s, including 25 is how it will feel in the Villages. It will feel like 26 in Daytona Beach, and 29 is how it will feel in Melbourne. Now today, it probably felt pretty cool to you when you stepped outside this morning, but actually most of us were right in the normal range in the upper 40s and low 50s. Our launch credit union camera out there at Cape Canaveral showing a mix of sun and clouds. Right now, we are sitting at 69 degrees, but it is on the breezy side. That front go through yesterday. Behind that, we're seeing pretty gusty conditions. Winds coming from the north, sustained at 13 miles per hour. And we have seen some higher gusts. Right now in New Smyrna Beach, your winds are gusting up to around 29 miles per hour. And in Sanford and DeLand, you are seeing 18 mile per hour wind gusts. Now that front definitely did cool us down. If you'll recall, on Friday, we actually tied some records and went well into the 80s. Right now, you're sitting at 60 in Mount Dora, 60 in Mascot. You're at 65 right now in Webster. Take you up to Reddick, you're at 58 degrees, 56 in Salt Springs, and it is 60 right now in Port Orange. Miko, you're checking at 71, and it is 70 degrees in Hullapaw. Here is your hour-by-hour forecast, and just, if you think you're cool, and then you see this guy, he's got the sunglasses, he has a tennis ball.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Levi, and he is celebrating his 8th birthday, so I guess that probably makes him, second grade, so hopefully he's having a great day. We'll keep it in the low 60s as we head through the evening hours, and make sure you go to clickorlando.com/pins to share your pet photos with us. Now, taking you Wednesday into Thursday, we're tracking a front that will move through. That will bring with it the chance of some showers. We're not talking about drought-busting rain, but again, on average, this is what we can expect by Friday. Picking up, any rainfall is beneficial. Orlando picking up potentially about 3/10 of an inch of rain as these showers come through, and then the big cool down Friday morning. For tonight, we keep it pretty mild, 55 in Orlando, and you go to 46 in Ocala. Your 7-day forecast bringing that 40 to 50% chance of rain to the picture Wednesday into Thursday, and then we keep it in the 30s Friday morning, Saturday morning, and even into Monday morning.
All right, Julie, thank you. A high-stakes vote is underway at a Central Florida elementary school.
It could stay as a traditional campus or transition to a new K-8 model. What it could mean for enrollment and your kids, that's next as we take a live look at Mount Dora. You're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
Coming up in the morning, another school district cracking down on e-bikes.
The new rule up for a vote, all designed to keep kids safe.
Plus the push to stop another toll road.
We'll see you on News 6 Morning starting at 6.
Parents in one Orlando neighborhood are making a decision that could change a school campus for years.
Voting started today at Orange Center Elementary. Families are deciding whether the school stays a traditional public elementary school or converts to a charter-operated K-8 school. The change could add about 300 students and bring middle school grades to the campus. The school district sent ballots to parents last week. Community nonprofit Lift Orlando would partner with Orange County Public Schools if the measure passes.
Some parents speak like me. They had previous experience. They love the change that has been made and they want to see more. But then you do have the parents, wondering if this is the best fit.
Voting results are expected next week on January 22nd. Over the past few years, we've seen a lot of people move to the Sunshine State.
Yeah, but according to a new study, there is one community that is better than the rest. U.S. News and World Report took a look at quality of life, cost of living, crime rates, and the job market to come up with this list. Statewide, the top-ranked city in Florida is Parkland. Here in Central Florida, the top spot is Alafaya in Orange County. Other local favorites made the top 10 too. Ormond Beach is at number 7, and the Villages made it to the 9th spot. We posted the list of 50 cities, Florida cities, on our website. Just search for this story on clickorlando.com.
Some good news for drivers. Prices at the gas pump are going down. The latest numbers from AAA show the current state average at $2.67 a gallon. That is down 14 cents in just the last week. In fact, it is the lowest daily average since March of 2021. Oil prices were up a bit, though, to close the week. It is not known yet just how big of an impact that will have at the pumps.
News 6 at 5 is next.
Anchor Matt Austin is in the newsroom with what's ahead.
Well, a third school lockdown in less than a week has safety front and center for Central Florida parents. Now we're hearing from concerned parents.
I don't know how I feel about letting her come to school, honestly.
So what we now know about today's incident at Lake Mineola High School, plus the city of Orlando taking another step forward for the permanent memorial of the Pulse nightclub site. We're going to look at the progress being made and a timeline of when this thing could finally be finished. And your forecast is only minutes away. Don't forget, you can stream all of our newscasts and live cameras like this great look at Daytona Beach for free anytime on News 6 Plus. We'll be right back.